Touch Me in Kansas is a dioramic homage to the American West.
I think it would be like laying out all of the tropes of the American West and sort of flipping them over, metaphorically speaking.
I like the term homosocial desire better than homoerotic. So like this idea that they, how two people of the same sex communicate with each other, how they communicate intimacy, how they communicate violence, when the wires are crossed between violence and intimacy.
We're still talking about universal themes. We're still talking about violence and intimacy and how are two people companions and what does it mean to be physically close to someone, and gender in general is in such a weird state right now that I think, despite this piece being like a very strong homoerotic, homosocial desire piece, it's questioning a lot of things that we are all questioning right now.
She keeps and he wants, or really she wants but keeps and he wants but wants, so they both want but only she keeps, but they never want together, and together would be the apex of success.
Kirin always, thank goodness, brings the female back into the conversation. You know, like I get my blinders on and I want to like focus in on what this relationship is between these two men. But then when you throw a woman into the mix, it's like, wait, why is she speaking? Is she the mother? Is she, you know, the is she the wronged wife? I mean, I don't know, right? Like, I mean, what is, and these are all like narrative aspects that we've specifically kept out of the piece so that people can be having conversations like this about the work. A lot of work we were finding in the city was basically prescribing thought that was telling us, you know, this is what we want you to think about this is how we want you to see it, this is how we want you to view it, and this is what we want you to leave with. And I think the more we worked together, the more we were saying, you know, we don't want to know what you leave with, we don't want to know what you, we want to know what you're getting, but we don't want to tell you what you're getting, and we don't want to tell you how to process it, and definitely not how to digest it. We wanted an audience or a viewership that leaves the work and says, can someone tell me what that was? And then everyone has to be like, well, I think they were brothers. Right. I think they were brothers. And it's like, they never said they were brothers. How do you know they're brothers, right? So I think like, just that fact that the conversation starts with, can someone please tell me what's going on here? And no one has the answers, then everyone's free to come up with whatever answer they want.
I think we picked all the right elements of sort of quiet absurdity. You know, because another thing about New York, right, is that we're all surrounded by weird performance stuff happening all the time. You know, someone gets on the subway and no one bats an eye, right? So it's been really impressive to me just how vocal people have been with this piece. I think because we've taken all these elements that people are so used to seeing, you know, people drinking milk, like tighty whities, cowboy boots, you know, there's nothing wholly outrageous in this piece. Yeah. But we've put it together in such a way that it is just
it manages to be somewhat
shocking.
Yeah, and like the grotesque comes out of things that are rather normal, right? So it's very interesting. Yeah.
It was the first major group that walked up to the window.
They were the first people to see the work, and they walk by and they immediately stop what they're doing, and they're like, "Whoa, my gosh, what is going on?" And they're like, you know, they've
all got their cell phones out, and they're all like
videoing, and like the one guy's like, "Why? Why are they doing this?" Because the boys are like, you know, got milk running all over them, and they're like, why are they doing this? And the one girl's like, I don't know, it's shit white people do or something. And we just died. I was like, man, we could never have gotten any kind of a response like that.
Yeah, another
because the shit white people do was behind the gallery doors, and they never would have known. But it's not like offending them.
No.
It's just unsettling them, which I would found like so invigorating to see, that the work is definitely challenging work, and it's definitely not conventional, but it wasn't offensive to them. It was just unsettling because they didn't expect to be confronted by this like very vibrant and aggressive piece.
Two people who have separate secrets often end up at the bottom, dragged down by the other, or by herself and her need to keep the other. He dragged down by the need to have her secret, each dragged down by a secret at the centers of the embryos that cannot be met by the other person.